Well, the manager of Manchester United has held a press conference today ahead of the game of West Ham on Sunday. We know it was really held after the game of Brighton that saw us lose 1-0 to the team of Brighton, and obviously we've gone ahead to really gather what he really had to say in a nutshell, and we said we have to present it to you in here with the title Garnacho back to destroy West Ham on Sunday. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name. He has also gone ahead to talk about West Ham having gone ahead to really concede very many goals in the previous games they're gone ahead to play. That is one of the things that he has gone ahead to really talk about. Then he found himself talking about the Champions League and how crucial it is and how we can bounce back from that 1-0 dodgy win against Brighton that came in late after Luke Shaw got hold of that ball and a penalty was rewarded to Brighton, and McAllister put that ball into the back of the net. Now, let's go eyes, not so? I think Garnacho is the biggest story that came out of this press conference, and Ten Hag was asked on if there is a chance of some new players coming back. He said no. I think it will be the same squad. Maybe one player, Alejandro Garnacho, I have to see. Maybe he can be involved, but we'll have to see how the progress can go. I think, to me, with what has gone ahead to happen to us in the previous games, I think Garnacho is going to be back for the game of West Ham. Like it or not, he's going to travel with the team of Manchester United to West Ham. I'm going to be shocked if at all he doesn't travel, because this is the third week ever since he returned from injury, and he has been training with the first team for close to 2 weeks, and I think this is the best game for him to come in through and obviously do the needful for the club of Manchester United, because if you ask me, if there is a player we need to really come back as soon as possible, I think there are two. It's Alejandro Garnacho and Rafael Varane. Those are the two players I believe are really going to be needed to do the needful for Manchester United in the remaining parts of the season, because Garnacho gives us a direct attacking option off the bench, and sometimes he can start. You know, every time you're having Alejandro Garnacho, you know that you can even take off Marcus Rashford if at all he's not performing if at all he's not performing very well, and you bring on Garnacho. Like yesterday, to me, there are two players that we are supposed to get off that pitch fast than those that really went off. If we had a very decent competitor with Casemiro, I think I would have gone ahead to take off Casemiro yesterday. That's it. Because Casemiro looked bad, you know? And on the night, we would have gone ahead to get a third red card in a season. That's it. I think him and Marcus Rashford were the worst players on the field of play, plus Anthony. But all of those players found themselves on the pitch for so long because we never had players that can come up and really get the job done and dusted. So for Alejandro Garnacho returning, I think we need him in the game of West Ham, and he's one of those players that you can really call upon to go ahead and really destroy the team of West Ham, because West Ham is really having lots of injuries, and you expect him to go on and really cause a lot of havoc during that game in the final third of the pitch. So Garnacho, good to be back. Having been given a new contract, I think that will act as a spark for him to show the people that, or the fans, that I'm going to continue keeping you off the edge of your seats because I've been given a new contract. Hard work has gone ahead to pay off. I need to go ahead and really rise up to the next level. Ten Hag was talking to him as he addressed him with his parents. He indicated to us that Garnacho is now a player who should push for a position in the starting 11, and I think he's really doing great wonders. To me, I think Garnacho can do wonders for the team of Manchester United. 5 goals, 4 assists this season. Are they 5 assists this season? Not bad for the player who is coming in from the academy, and he's trying to really prove very many people wrong that he can get that position of Marcus Rashford done and dusted. And you know, when we come out and say these things, people say that we are just biased and jinxed. Rashford might have gone ahead to score those goals, but trust me, if Garnacho continues to grow and develop and keep himself in a position that most of us want to see him in, especially in the shape and his attitude, he'll surpass Rashford. He'll surpass Rashford because his talent is out of this world. He can beat anyone with pace, you know, and he's end product is really going ahead to improve. I saw Marcus Rashford yesterday struggling to go past players. That's not something that Garnacho will ever experience as a problem. I think one of the easiest things that Garnacho does is to retake off players. Rashford's biggest asset is pace. So I think we are lucky to be having Rashford and Garnacho in this season and in this team. I think Rashford is really going to find himself in a very, very, very bad situation if at all United signs in what we call a prolific number 9, because there will be no option for him to start games if at all Garnacho fires on. So I would love to see moments of Rashford competing with Garnacho, on merit, not because Rashford has gone ahead to give us a very beautiful season. I want to see him compete with Garnacho on merit, and as we go into these games, if at all Garnacho was on the bench yesterday, I think Erik ten Hag would have gone ahead to take off Marcus Rashford for Alejandro Garnacho, because he even reached an extent when Marcus Rashford was not operating well off the left attacking side of the midfield and told Martial to go and play that side, and then Rashford switched in the center, and even if he switched in the center, had nothing to do. One of the worst games that Marcus Rashford played yesterday. That's why I'm so elated on the return of Garnacho, because I know what it means to the club of Manchester United. So as it stands, I'm really privileged to really see him get back, and I really want to see him travel to London on Sunday, because we've gone ahead to perform badly, in London. We drew with Tottenham, beat Fulham, drew with Crystal Palace, drew with Chelsea. Arsenal beat us by 3-2. So we need to raise our levels when we are playing teams in London. And I think this is the game that we should win, because West Ham is really having a very bad record, as Erik ten Hag was also went ahead to be asked about the record of West Ham in the previous 3 games, because West Ham has gone ahead to concede 9 in 3 previous games. Ten Hag said it's unexperienced and fantastic manager. So long already in the Premier League. I am looking forward to it. We faced them this season twice, because we also faced them in the FA Cup tie, and it's going to be another great game. Every game is a battle. Every game is a challenge. We have to get ready. We have to get ready for the challenge. Now, West Ham is one of those teams that are going to have to concede very many goals. In the midweek, they played against Man City, and they conceded 3, and they never even scored. No goal was scored, and Crystal Palace beat them by 4-3, and Liverpool beat them by 2-1. So it shows you how West Ham is a team that concedes very many goals, and Ten Hag is really respecting the side. But I understand that we've gone ahead to face them twice this season at Old Trafford. In the Premier League, we beat them by 1-0. It was a header coming in from Marcus Rashford towards I think it was the second last game, towards the World Cup. And then we had to beat them in the FA Cup by 3-1. It was who put up the equalizer? I think it was an own goal, because a cross was brought in and they connected and they scored themselves. Then Garnacho put us ahead. Then Fred scored the third one after a press coming in from Wout Weghorst to make it 3-1 for Manchester United. So as it stands, I think we've gone ahead to play them twice, and on Sunday it's going to be the 3rd time we are playing them this season. So however much they've gone ahead to concede 9 in the previous 3 games, we are Manchester United. They've been playing different teams altogether, and I believe we might find ourselves in a position of really going all out for them and causing the entire havoc that they deserve. But they're defending badly. They're not having some defenders. I saw Kat Zuma walk off the pitch, So the problems are really increasing in their back line. So that can be really used as a point to really capitalize onto, and obviously go ahead and really beat them. But that does not give us a guarantee of really getting 3 points. But to me, I see us winning this game. Because West Ham is really bad, one of the worst teams that I've seen, and I think we can get a result. Then Ten Hag was asked about us bouncing back from the loss of Brighton. Said every time this season when we have had a defeat, we bounce back. So I count on my players and my team to do it again. So there is no time to stand in this mood. We got to the game against West Ham and we will all focus onto that. We will prepare them. We make a good plan. The players have to take responsibility and they will do. I count on that. They have to do it and they can do it because we have that evidence this season that every time we have a disappointment, they bounce back. That is Erik ten Hag. Now, I look at Erik ten Hag as one of those managers that is really so much positive. I was going to hate to give these players a lot of freedom to operate because he has going to hate to defend them in media every time they've let him down. But I think for the game of Brighton, the blame will first go to the forwards before we go to Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw had a fantastic game, kept a clean sheet for the entire 97 minutes until he really bottled it. But what were the forwards doing? Chances were there. We didn't score. But I believe if we go ahead and really create the same chances against West Ham and we play on the same intensity as we played against Brighton, I think we put the game to bed. That's it. We put the game to bed, and I don't see West Ham coming in through on us as Brighton really did. So I expect some changes to be made in the starting 11 of Manchester United, and some players might start and others might not start because Ten Hag will know that it's really so much important for him to win this game of football. And it's going to be a command from Erik ten Hag that we need to beat West Ham. And I think if there is a team that you want to beat, it's West Ham. It's West Ham, though these players have not gone ahead to really disappoint us this season. They've put in a shift. Last season, you would have expected us to crumble, but every time we crumble, we raise up. We lost against Newcastle, then we went ahead to win against Brentford, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa. 4 wins in a row. Then we've gone ahead to lose to Brighton. I think if we can go ahead and really pick up the form that we picked up after losing to Newcastle, win 4 games in a row, Champions League places will be done, and we'll be really preparing for the game of Man City. I really want us to close this top 4 race with 2 games to go to face City, such that the likes of Casemiro can come in and play like 30 minutes in the game. Bruno plays like 30, he gets off the field of play, such that we can rotate these players and obviously get enough playing time to these players to prepare for that game of the FA Cup finale, because we need to stop the treble. We need to stop the treble. Man City are in a pole position to win the Premier League. If they knock out Madrid next week, but one, they'll be in the finale to face AC Milan or Inter Milan. That's it. So, talking of the Champions League, Erik ten Hag had the following to say about the Champions League. He said, I think it's always vital. We have to be in the Champions League, and it's a battle because in the Premier League, many clubs are competing for it. We have the power and we have to fight for it as well, but we have to be there and we'll do everything to get there. That is Erik ten Hag. So he wants to be in the Champions League and they are working to be there. And I think with the games left, West Ham, Fulham, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Chelsea and Bournemouth, we just need to win 3 of those games, of which I believe we are going to win 4. I see 4 wins out of those, and we can even win all of them, because the 3 at Old Trafford, I think we are going to win all of them. I think we can go away at West Ham on Sunday and really win. Then we can also go away at Bournemouth and win, because Bournemouth is not going to be having the same intensity they've been playing on, because they've gone ahead to really secure their spot. By the time we play them, I think they're going ahead to secure their safety into the league. So that's what I had for you. What are your thoughts about Garnacho back to destroy West Ham on Sunday? And tell me your thoughts onto the Champions League battle, bouncing back from Brighton, and obviously us facing West Ham that's going to hate to concede 9 out of its 3 games they've gone ahead to play. 4 against Crystal Palace, 2 against Liverpool, and 3 against Man City over the midweek. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovelies.